Welcome to another episode of The Scoop. I'm Pickle.
I'm Devin.
So, Mr. Devin, how has your week been?
No better than the past few weeks.
So, last week we talked about you having some troubles with your car,
And my bowels
and yes.
at the exact
Um,
same time.
so, did you have these continued issues with?
Continued issues, but I guess that's what I get for driving a used 2004 Nissan Sentra. Just shit falling off or something breaking here and there every week. It seems like I'm working on it about every day. So before we get to the great flood of August 5th, 2017, let's go to August 4th, 2017.
Okay.
It's just like every other morning. I'm waking up at 5 o'clock. I have my cup of coffee. I have some breakfast. I say goodbye to everyone at my house, which is like one person.
Right.
And then, I'm on my merry way, and it's raining. And so I'm kind of like huddling to my car. I don't have time to look at my car. Okay, everything's working today. Everything's fine. Well, I get in and I start driving. I hear the lovely sound of the flat tire sound. I get out and I have my phone on my lap. So when I get out to check for the flat tire, my phone flies out. So now I got this awesome, stylish cracked screen here where I shave my face every single time I make a phone call. And then I found out my tire's flat, so I put some Fix-A-Flat in there, went to the air pump, and I was able to spin the tire around, and I found the screw that was in the tire. Went there and plugged it, and I was on my way to work. And then I was like, well, hey, it can't get any worse, Well, next day happens, and
Yes.
I'm helping some people move. Well, I was supposed to go to Florida, weather permitting, with Ricky and Jenna.
Yes, I saw that they were enjoying Florida for Jenna's birthday. Happy birthday, Jenna.
It was Jenna's birthday, and sadly, I said I was gonna go, but I had to go help someone move some furniture first. And while doing that, it started raining and started flooding, and we were trapped like rats in a damn turd bowl, and I couldn't even get home. I had to wait 7 hours just to get home. And in between the 7 hours, I'm like, I might as well go get some groceries to cook dinner tonight. When I get home, it takes me an hour just to get from the end of Vets to Robert E. Lee, just because it's deadlocked, gridlocked traffic, just not moving. You're not moving at all. I finally get to my street, and I'm about 10 blocks away. I can't get any further. My car will just go under and die. And water was on some cars, about mid-door. So a lot of cars were taking on water. I had to walk through the shitty water. Trash cans falling over. The trash is just completely taking over the streets. And people are out on their porches. Trucks are driving through, making wakes, causing more water to go in people's houses.
I saw some pictures or videos of, I saw one of some construction truck that was just flying through some flooded neighborhood.
I did stop and take a
creating a
photo. There's a few photos we'll put on here. I get, first trip, I got my electronics home. And then I grabbed my duffel bag, and I went back for the groceries. And the roses for my friend Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And who also walked through the water to my house.
Dedication.
And shout out. Besides the monsoon that is only I'm gonna have to bring up the infrastructure of the city. I mean, come on, the water pumps can only handle one inch an hour, yet it rained 5 inches for 1 hour. Just 1 hour, 5 inches. What happened in like the other hours? Yes, it'll take a few days.
Yeah,
what?
I think that they're not wanting to admit that
They screwed the
they
pooch.
didn't turn on the pumps in the proper amount of time, and B, that I saw some articles this week even talking about it. That a lot of the manhole or the sewage drains along the street are clogged with dirt or
Beads,
whatever
trash
that's in there.
bags
Yeah.
from Mario Golf. Well, it's just like a week or two ago, I was driving home, same situation from Gentilly, and I had to go every exit, St. Bernard, every exit was just flooded. Cars were trapped down under there to the top of the roof.
Yeah, there was one. It was like a Saturday where we were going out to the boat, I think, and when we got off at Elysian Fields,
Yeah,
there was
Elysian Fields.
there was standing water at Elysian Fields in 610.
It's just
But there was
crazy.
still a homeless guy who was
Chilling.
holding up a sign, saying, we'll make you laugh for food or whatever.
It's like so 2 weeks ago, and this subject was brought up. I mean, I'm over on Canal and City Park, and the only way I can get out of the water is drive on the neutral ground where the streetcars go. So I'm like, no streetcars.
Yeah.
Got up on there and drove down the middle of it as far as I could and get off and go all the way down. I can barely get home. And it was brought up, hey, they forgot to turn on the pumps. Same situation. It rained for 2-3 hours, and 8 hours later, I'm standing in my yard, and the water's it's not even raining anymore. The water's continuing to get higher.
Well, I did see
it was about 2 feet.
I did see minor bits of the flooding. For the most part, all this weekend, I had been at a Lions seminar, which was at the lovely Copeland Towers in Metairie. And around 5:30, I had to go run to pick up someone for the evening banquet that we were having at the function. And on my way to pick her up, there was some standing water, and I mean, I wasn't going into Lakeview or anything. I was still staying within Metairie, but going into her neighborhood, there was some of the streets had looked like a creek rolling through it. Just of water rolling to the lower spot. And even as close as a few houses away from her, there was yards that were just a lake.
I mean, it's not even just Lakeview. It's Mid-City. It's New Orleans. It's Gentilly. It's overall. We're already below sea level, and with like this poor infrastructure, it's leveling out where we're eventually going to just flood it out. What's going to happen when an actual real natural disaster, not a Saturday afternoon drizzle,
Well, because I was at the function, I didn't really get to see how hard it was raining.
It was
raining. I mean, I could hear
hard.
I could hear thunder from outside, and all that. And there was an open window, but it's like, yeah, I could see off in the distance. It looked hazy. You know how it is, like when you're looking off into the distance and you can see where it's raining. But I mean, where I was, it wasn't a torrential downpour.
To quote the great Forrest Gump, it was thick rain, upside down rain, sideways rain. It was all the rain. It was all the rain, Pickle. But we do have someone to cover to actually kind of recap.
Oh yeah, we did catch some footage of one of the local weathermen who he was really downplaying the severity of the weather.
We just got a newscaster. He's a recent addition to the Scoop family.
Yes.
Pickle, you know him.
Well, he is. I mean, he came with high regards. He is a weatherman. He is none other than Bob Pick. So let's check out what he had to say about the rains yesterday.
Good evening, this is Bob Pick for the WSCOOP News. And I'm here to report to you that we have beautiful weather today. Some people might be complaining because there's some rain, but don't be worried. Get your barbecue pits out. We're having us a good old time out here. People are complaining about some flooding, and we're just getting you a free pool. Let's go and flip over to the radar and see what it looks like. As you can see, a little bit of red, but that's okay. It'll be out of here in no time flat. Good evening.
Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service.
All right, thanks, Bob.
But we'll see what else. Went to Blue Bayou today, and it was great when we first got there. And but what sucks is it started raining again. You know, crappy weather. So I left early. Dick's Landing wasn't even open. So went on the few water slides, but it just started getting freezing cold. Heaven forbid I get more wet being out of the water park. And let's see, anything else? Day 2 of shooting.
Ooh, yes. We did talk about the film that you were.
I was holding off on some more behind the scenes photos. Instead, I released a behind the scenes video, an outtake of.
Yeah, I saw this of your actors in like some sort of like a struggle or a chase of some sort, like a foot chase, basically, to where one of the characters is running into a room.
Mm-hmm. Backwards.
He bumped into like a shelf or a dresser or something, and everything fell on top of him.
Yeah, everything. We had to stop, and we just had to reset the set and kind of laugh it off and get back in the character. That was one of probably like the best moments for me. No one got hurt. There was some shit on there that could have seriously hurt them that fell off. Luckily, no one got hurt.
Nothing big, just Chinese stars.
It was
katana sword.
it was like this iron cast bell. What the fuck is that doing on there? Just weird shit. He has so much weird, dangerous shit. Like one time, he had told me a real quick story. He has a bed of nails in his house, and they're just laying on the floor. And one of our friends was walking in there and tripped, and her hand fell like you're catching, like she was trying to catch herself. Boom, nails in her hand. They went into her fucking hand.
Ow.
And like she wasn't mad or anything, but like, Jesus fucking Christ, he leaves his shit everywhere, bear traps and shit. The broken glass that he walks on. It's so dangerous in his house. But
this has to be Sideshow Matt.
This is Sideshow Matt's house. It's Sideshow Matt's house. It's a fun, cool looking place. So dangerous. Everything's falling apart. I feel like I'm gonna die at any moment. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But we got through day 2, and it was a quick scene. Good addition. We got 2 other Sideshow performers. It was a couple, Eli and Daphne, who did this. Who do a Sideshow act show. It's a private, closed show that I actually did some photos for. That they really don't let any video out, so it doesn't ruin it for anything. It makes them go out to the show. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, most of my week has been dealing with preparing for said seminar that I attended this weekend. Earlier in the week, I had to go get all the stuff to make the packets. As the cabinet secretary for the district, I'm responsible for making sure that everybody with an office basically gets the district directory and information about the calendar and all that kind of stuff, to where I had to put together these packets, and that took me a day or so. And just getting all my shit together. I mean, I'm working on 2 websites for the Lions right now. I'll probably share those on my Facebook once I get them to where I'm proud enough to show them, I guess. You know what I mean?
How does one become a Lion member? I'm asking
have
you
to,
on the spot.
You just have to be asked.
You have to ask me, hey, you want to be a Lions Club member?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nonprofit organization to where Their primary focus is to help the blind.
I'm blind.
Well, is that why you're wearing those Ray Charles glasses there?
Yes, it is.
Our main goal is to fight blindness. We do lots of other service stuff as well. You can check out more information
You help
about.
you give back to the community.
Yeah, you can check out more about them on lionsclubs.org, and they have videos and all that stuff about what the Lions do.
That's cool.
But I did have a good time at the seminar. But let's get to the matter at hand.
The guts.
We have tonight. We have SpaceMetal, which SpaceMetal, they're a local rock band. Hopefully, everyone who's watching this has seen them before.
I have yet to see them, but I'll see them at that Twist of Lime show that'll be coming up.
They're a fun bunch of guys. They'll be playing 2 shows here coming up, one at House of Blues and then one at Twist of Lime. We'll talk more about that in the interview, along with a lot of other stuff. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our interview with SpaceMetal. And we are back.
That was a good opening scene.
We are back with SpaceMetal. So how y'all doing today?
Doing great.
Awesome.
Nobody's doing as good as Chris, though, I don't think.
So I know y'all have 2 gigs coming up here soon. Y'all want to tell us a little bit about the gigs coming up?
We do. The first one is going to be at House of Blues, opening for Diary of an Ozman, which is an Ozzy Osbourne tribute band. It's going to actually be our 3rd time opening for these guys. They're incredible. The Ozzy, quote-unquote Ozzy, is amazing, and his guitar player is out of this world. The whole band is amazing. And any gig at House of Blues is going to sound good and be fun.
Yeah.
Would you say they're from space, since they're from out of this world?
No. No, I will ground them. They are. Thank you for the correction. They are definitely from this world.
Okay.
They are definitely from this world, but they're really exceptional for being worldly people.
And then I know y'all have another one that's the following week.
The following week, 6 days after the 18th, at one of our favorite places in Metairie or the city or the general metro area to play, the Twist of Lime on Lime Street. Always a good time opening up for people on the side who haven't played in a long time and are getting back together to do it. We're good friends with Dwayne, who actually mastered our CD.
All right.
So we're excited to get that gig going, too.
Well, you mentioned the CD. Y'all have had a CD that's been out for probably about a year now? Maybe a little bit more?
A little bit more.
2 years.
2
Yeah,
years.
15 it came out.
Yep, 2015.
So tell us a little bit about the CD.
John, tell him a little bit.
In terms of what? I mean, I'll tell you where we recorded it. We recorded it at in Bogalusa at Studio in the Country. And Studio in the Country has a lot of history. Have you ever heard of Studio in the Country?
It sounds familiar.
Kansas, Zebra, what else?
Oh, man.
Their claim to
Stevie
fame.
Wonder. Cinderella, Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Stevie Wonder.
Their claim to fame, they've got 10,
Dr.
12
John.
gold records on the wall, Dirty Dancing soundtrack. And then maybe one day SpaceMetal.
But the Kansas, Dust in the Wind.
Dust in the Wind.
Recorded.
I recorded vocals in the same vocal recording booth
yeah.
that Dust in the Wind was recorded in.
And
Oh, wow. That's
Perhaps some of the magic that went into the RCD.
Perhaps.
Left over.
Produced by Chris Finney. And Chris Finney is, well, he's a Grammy-winning engineer. And he's produced and engineered for everybody and anybody, primarily Dr. John. And we recorded it
I don't know that he has a primarily, but he's definitely tied closely to Dr. John. But yeah, he's with everybody. He's
I
one of
think
those
he helped
dudes
him buy a
that's-
car.
Everybody, well, he's closely tied to Dr.
Yeah.
John, but there's everybody knows Finney.
Right. Revivalists, is that the band?
He's working with them too. Yeah.
So he's the man, and I just heard a noise.
I didn't mean to
Threw
sidetrack
me
you.
off.
I didn't mean to sidetrack you.
No. So all analog. We recorded it on tape, which is different than what most do.
Tape left over from a Dr. John recording session.
Yeah, and that gives it a pretty thick sound. And so we did that. We went to studio in the country and recorded it. And then we had Dwayne Simoneau, who has produced the last several Crowbar records, right? He's the producer?
Mhm,
I know he's
I think so.
engineer, producer. And he mixed it for us, almost as a favor, to really push it into the stratosphere. So that's what we did to record the record.
That's a good summation.
Are the levels good when I turn my head?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Okay.
So, how'd y'all come up with the name Space Metal?
That's a good question.
You want me to answer that one?
I
I'll
don't know
answer
that
it.
I have the answer.
Any band will try to come up with a zillion names, the best name. And the bands that I always thought were the best were the ones with an iconic name. Metallica, they made up a word. So I always wanted to have a band name that was iconic. And I think it was Rob that said, when we were going through all the tribulations trying to come up with the name, he just said, why don't we call it Space Metal? I mean, that's what we are, right? And we kind of laughed for a minute, and then at some point we decided that it was probably the most logical thing to do, so it is Space Metal.
It was pretty quick after whoever came up, probably Rob, yeah, whoever put it out there, pretty quick after
Yeah.
everybody else latched on. It's like it was good. It didn't, nothing else made sense. Everything else seemed silly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how did y'all all get together? Before the show, y'all were all kind of talking about different bands that y'all were in your past. How'd
You guys go back
the
further.
lights align to where?
You want a history? I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
long. I can give you a history.
You can do it briefly.
Yeah.
Those are
I mean,
Holy Cross dudes right there, two tigers. Been knowing each other for a long time.
But never
Chris and I
played?
worked together at House of Blues for many years. Chris and I, House of Blues used to have a staff talent show every year, and Chris, myself, and two other individuals started doing a Black Sabbath tribute act every year for the talent show. And we do 4 or 5 kind of obscure, none of the really hit Black Sabbath songs. John would come to see those gigs,
Oh, yeah.
which gave him an idea to have us start a heavy metal cover band, which we did, called Brah, B-R-A-H, which covered all of the 80s power metal and some 90s power metal, some 90s metal, 80s power metal, classics, good, not necessarily the music that's going to get all the girls out to the show, but definitely a music that appealed to the dudes, unfortunately. That went on for a good long time. We had a good run of playing a lot of good gigs at One Eyed Jacks and House of Blues, open for people like Sebastian Bach, Rats, Anvil, Wasp, to name some of the bigger ones.
Lillian Axe.
Which we've done as Bra and
As Space Metal.
as Space Metal.
Yeah.
Open for the Bag of Donuts. Let's not forget them,
Yeah.
because that was a fun gig.
It's incredible.
Then after Katrina, we did Bra for a few more years and just kind of got sick of the tribute thing. Wanted to do original stuff.
Yeah.
All brought on by John.
Ah.
And here we are.
Yeah, well, the way that started was Chris and I, before practice, would we would jam, and we got into this habit
Before bra practice.
before bra practice, and we would get in the habit of doing what I would call instant hits, and basically any musician needs to take note of this, okay?
Instant hits.
This is important, all right? So if this needs to be edited to the front of the show, edit it to the front of the show. This is important. All right, anyway, instant hits. When you're jamming, you have to play with conviction as if you've played the song 1,000 times, even if you're making it up right then and there. And that's what we would do. And I think I would sing a lot of the instant hits.
Well, sometimes it would start with a title.
Right.
We just had a title. This song is called
I would say this.
Execution.
Yeah. This is The Frozen Eye off of our latest. Most of the people here have heard it. Let's do this. And then play it. And he would play a riff. Our drummers would do their thing. And you got to play with conviction, people. Don't forget that.
Like, you're like, this band just wrote this song 5 minutes ago. Something like that.
No, we wouldn't do that. We would say, this is off our third album, 1979. This is called The Frozen Eye.
This is
Dude, we
actually
did a
true.
whole
He would
gig
say
of
that.
instant hits
We
at
did.
Voodoo Fest
Yes.
one year.
Yeah,
Where it was just a big jam session,
it
but
was. With children.
We just got up there and made up. We must have made up 30 different songs.
Right.
Lyrics
Yeah.
off the top of your head.
Yeah, I was the primary singer for this, and that's not a good thing, but one of the best contributors to instant hits is alcoholic beverages. So the more of that you have, which we were drinking a little bit at, what was it, like 10:30 in the morning, so yeah, we would contrive these songs right then and there. We would tell it was basically a setup where they set up the stage and let whoever wanted to get up on stage jam out. So Chris and I got up there and just basically capitalized on that opportunity, and we were calling out to all these children, all right, let's play Ozone, and they're like, what's Ozone? Just play it, it's an A. And then, come on, kid, let's go, play that drum beat. And
We were facilitating a jam.
yeah, and probably changed a lot of lives.
Better or worse is still debatable.
Probably changed some lives. Anyway, all right. So that's the answer to that. I don't know if that was a. You have editing software on that machine of yours? You might want to edit that whole thing on. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, you got iMovie.
so how do y'all go about y'all's songwriting process today with
The
with
process.
SpaceMetal?
What's that noise?
They
Process.
It's army sneezes. They come from a lot of spontaneous pushing. Like, this is a riff. One of them, here's a riff, and then the other one will hear it, and then they'll play on that, and then all four of them will start working with that. Or
Name them.
it'll be naming Chris and Rob, the drummer and bass player.
Do you guys
dudes?
Do you guys need drugs to fuel your creativity?
No.
Do we need drugs?
Nobody needs.
You know what we
anything.
need? Let me tell you about this stuff that I acquired just a little while ago. This is a moonshine that is created using what is the process, Travis, to create this stuff?
Well, I didn't create it, so I couldn't answer that.
No.
I did not create it either.
No, I don't think anyone in any kind of position of authority could create this stuff. But let me tell you, it's got apples
It does, but that's just the finishing.
and alcohol.
That's just how I finish it. I mean,
So it's pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you had one of the apple slices yet?
I've not. I will. I mean, not of those, but I mean, I've had plenty because I made it. I mean, I didn't make it.
I've eaten apples as well.
Who would y'all say that y'all use the most for inspiration when writing riffs? Or
The riffs.
Who's
There's
your
no
favorite
There's no
There's
doubt.
only one answer.
musician?
Black Sabbath. That's the holy grail of
Black Sabbath with Ozzy or Dio?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You don't think so?
No.
Same
Not to
man
me.
playing the riffs.
Not to me.
Same
Because
man playing the riffs. And if we're gonna get into the debate of Ozzy, I used to be a Ozzy Sabbath purist, foolishly, and then I opened my ears and my mind, and now I don't know that Ozzy has it anymore. I'm not saying has it. He's still gonna do his thing, but
He's got the
I'm not
stuff.
saying, even though he's the original Black Sabbath singer, I'm not saying he's necessarily the best Black Sabbath singer. I'm not saying he's not, but I'm not saying he is.
well, no, they're two totally different bands. It's two totally different bands.
Absolutely.
because Geezer wrote all of Ozzy's lyrics.
Absolutely, yeah, and a lot of the music.
Dio wrote all of his own lyrics. Dio is an epic singer.
Yes.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
Amen.
Bless Dio. And then Ozzy,
So much power in that tiny. That's who I try to emulate.
a little
So
man.
much power in that tiny man.
You can't get that small.
I can't get that small, but I can try to harness that power.
You can't.
I'm close to that small.
You know what I
but
saw
can't
the other
get that
day?
small.
Yesterday, an interview with Dio, and I don't know what show this was on. This was like if they went on with Eric Paulson. I mean, in the morning.
He
or something.
was on with Eric and
No,
what's
he
her
wasn't.
face? Yeah, one time.
Hoda Kotb.
Hoda. No, not Hoda.
What's her name?
What's her name? I'll think of it.
Anyway,
Angela Hill.
No. African American
no.
lady, son got murdered. She's the morning
Um,
chick with Paulson.
Anyway,
Oh,
I don't believe you. Number one, that Dio was on that.
He wasn't.
No.
He wasn't.
Number two,
But I had it
he
almost
was
set.
on. He was on an equivalent show, and she said, "Well, what is this heavy metal? What is this that you do?" And he just looks at her, and he gave the most eloquent 10-minute description for if somebody just came, from Afghanistan and had never heard a song on the radio. And said, what is this heavy metal? And then let me tell you what it is. And he tells her everything about it, and that's you can see how much he loved it. Number one, and you can see how much thought he's put into it, into creating it. So check that out.
Well, who was more metal than Dio?
Andre Trevine.
Andre Trevine is definitely a little bit more mellow.
She was not more
A little
metal than
metal
Dio.
than,
That's who I was
than
looking for.
So would you say
God
that?
rest her soul.
God, she's still alive.
No, she died.
No, she's alive.
Did she?
That's who's on with Eric Paulson.
No, that's not who's on with Eric Paulson. You were so wrong. You've been wrong twice.
All right, well, fine.
Morning show knowledge
He's making up the news.
I'm pulling
Yeah.
New Orleans out of my ass, basically.
Yeah, really. She used to live in
Andre Trevine is her name.
Boot.
she's dead.
No, she's not. I'll Google it after the show.
Alexa. Just ask Alexa.
She might not know.
All right. Sorry.
Pretty sure her son got murdered. Pretty sure she's on the
She's-
in the morning with on.
No,
I'm up with babies at 6 in the
she's
morning.
so
Trust
dead.
Me. All right, come on.
All right.
She's so dead that her body's decaying right now.
Yeah. It's a shame. Okay.
Unless she was cremated.
So do y'all have any particular brand guitar, etc.
Oh.
that you?
Favorite instruments?
Let's get into it. Let's talk guitar. We're the guitar players. Him and me. Chris and John. I'm from Chalmette. You can call me John. So
John.
tell the camera about your guitars.
I love Charvel and Jackson. Always have. Back to the 80s. I think my first nice guitar was a Jackson, 1984.
I know.
Saved up for that sucker, man. Worked
15
like a
years
year. Got that nice Jackson. So I just got a newer Jackson that I'm loving. That's probably my main space metal guitar now.
Matte
yeah.
Black.
And you.
Gold. I'm gonna talk about your guitar first because
Okay.
it's killer. It is killer.
Let's talk about my guitar.
Matte black, Jackson soloist, custom shop, not cheap, gold hardware,
Black and gold, baby.
Saints. So, I don't know. I had to top that. And I've been trying since he got it. I don't think I have yet, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
your
But
attempts
you have
been
one on the
nice.
way. Tell them about your new
All right,
one.
I'll tell you about. Is that something the audience might be interested in? Is these guitars, or
Yeah.
is that just a throwaway question?
No, we have a lot of
All right.
lot of musicians who listen to the show. So.
Guitar players. Other listeners, now's the time for restroom breaks or whatever. But
Oh, wait, okay.
guitar players. This is the fourth time. Anyway,
He's got a tinkle.
guitar players. Very similar to Chris. In fact, Chris was an inspiration to me to believe that I could actually amass enough money to afford a Jackson soloist, because he had one 2 years before I got mine, and I went out and delivered pizzas for God knows how long to buy this soloist, Jackson soloist. That was my main guitar, and if anybody's seen whatever band I would play in, Dead Rebecca was my band way back when. If anyone saw us play, I had this one guitar, Jackson soloist, played it for 20 years, and that sucker was underwater in Katrina. And when I went back to retrieve it in Mid-City, I went and opened the case, grabbed the neck, pulled it, and off came the neck, and everything else stayed. So that thing was fried.
Ugh.
Went and bought a new one, and I used that for several years. But when we started Space Metal, I said, all right, I'm going to hit the reset button. I went and bought Hugo Miranda's Gibson SG. In fact, my wife, Tiff, thank you, Tiff, bought that guitar for me as a present. And I became an SG man. So if anyone out there knows about Gibson SG, that is the prototype metal guitar. Played that. Then I got into what's called a Kiesel, which a lot of guitar players would say derogatory things about me because it's basically a carving. But if you're ever going to say anything derogatory about my guitar, other guitar players out there in the audience, in the massive pickle scooping audience, let me tell you something. Come ask to play it first. Put your little nubs on this guitar.
Little nubs.
And then you can decide whether it's a piece of junk or not, because it's not, okay? All right, so played the Kiesel. And then earlier this year, I got to meet Grover Jackson of Jackson Guitars.
Right.
Met him at a trade show in California and talked to him for a bit. And I was going to buy a used, he has a company called GJ2, but he's the man. He created Jackson Guitars and Charvel Guitars. So I said, well, I'm going to buy a used GJ2, and I was looking on eBay, and I said, well, if I'm going to buy this used guitar for over $1,000, I'm going to see how much a new one costs. So I called GJ2 Guitars, and I'm giving them all the specs for this guitar. This is for guitar players, Travis. You were supposed to use the restroom.
Not
Anyway,
talking.
I give them all the specs, talking to the sales guy, and he says, oh, yeah, great, I'm Grover. So it was Grover Jackson himself taking the order.
The legend.
So I am ordering a guitar that is being made by the man himself, the man who put his name on Jackson Guitars.
What color is that guitar
So
going to be?
just because little man over here finds that boring doesn't mean it's boring. That's incredible.
What color is that guitar going to be?
It's going to be lavender
And you're getting it very soon, aren't you?
within the next 2 weeks, possibly for the next gig, possibly, hopefully. Lavender.
Can't wait to see it.
And for you over there, what would be
Yeah.
the one instrument, like, as for like a beginner, like, what would you recommend?
As far as singing, a beat of amber is a good way to start. Your vocal cords
It's kind of like honey.
warmer a beat. This is a little colder than I like to do it before I sing, but it works. a beat a local microbrewery that has been delicious for all of us for a long, long time.
It has been
Family
delicious
friendly.
to all of us.
Support local.
But no, what you want to do in seriousness for vocal warm-ups, you don't want anything cold going down your throat. Warm teas or water, anything that's going to coat it, like a honey or a little bit of lemon on honey.
Lemon water?
Lemon water, warm water.
Warm lemon water.
Warm.
Do you do like...
I don't abide by any of this at live shows. It's all cold beer the entire time, cold water the entire time. But, you know.
For like warm-ups, singing warm-ups, what do you do?
Tell us, Trav.
There is no singing warm-ups.
You just get
If I
up there.
were to do singing warm-ups, then yeah, I would do scales. But there isn't. I probably should, and I don't.
This is metal.
This is metal.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, if somebody walks
I don't
past,
care about my voice.
walks past the back room, right? Exactly. You're
metal.
going to
And
be. It was only as of, I don't know, 4 years ago that I stopped smoking cigarettes, for God's sake. Which
Yeah.
That gives the deep
yeah,
mucus,
and the
lung
inability
coughing.
to breathe.
Yeah.
And the inability to breathe. See, the thing with us and some of our songs is you have to be able to hold breath or know where your breath needs to be, and all of those detractors, they add up if you're trying to do it at all seriously. So I mean, on a serious note, you gotta behave to a certain degree.
So who's your inspiration to just start singing? Was that the first thing you just went into, like, I'm gonna be a goddamn singer?
No, I grew up in a family. My grandparents were very much into the New Orleans Opera Association. So at a very young age, I was kind of put into that world as an extra or a super in operas, and then later in the children's chorus, which is where I kind of got the understanding of controlling your voice. But I always just kind of sang my whole life.
Do you ever go to your roots when singing with Space Metal, like doing any opera?
I think about all the things when singing with Space Metal. I want to incorporate. I want it to be dynamic, but within my means. Of course, I would love to be a Freddie Mercury voice on stage all the time and personality, but that isn't who I am. I need to carve my own path. So I just need to keep it within my range and within my means. I've got enough energy to be fun on stage. I want the voice to be as solid as the fun is, basically.
Well, for you as a singer, who's your inspiration?
It's all over the board. There isn't anybody that can tell you one person
Like
that
the
I would
like the
wanna
most
sing.
well-rounded, like.
Well, we go back to Ronnie James Dio as far
Yeah.
as one of the most well-rounded frontmen. But like I just mentioned, Freddie Mercury, Mr. Halford can't not be mentioned in this. Ozzy can't not be mentioned in this.
David
but
Lee.
I like singers who are currently performing
You
and,
like the
and newer
Smiths,
singers.
right?
I love everybody. I love the Smiths.
like
I love the
Morrissey?
Cure. I love Morrissey. I don't love the Smiths.
did?
I
You
love the
love
Cure.
the
I love the
Smiths.
Cure. I like the Smiths. Big fan of XTC. Like I was born in
Depeche
1970,
Mode,
so
Joy Division.
Joy Division, yes. Depeche Mode, some
If
songs.
you liked it, don't deny it.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in it. I enjoyed it. These guys were pure
Purists.
80s metal.
That's not true. That's not true.
I bridged out. I
have a
love
large
just talking to a
spectrum.
friend of ours who played the other night, who covered a Yaz song and was a big Yaz fan, huge Yaz fan. But I love Confessor, which is one of the nastiest, hardest to listen to vocalist
What was-
bands
what was
out
that?
there.
What was that heavy rock Christian band back in the day?
Striper.
Striper?
Defiance.
You ever listen to them?
These guys did. I not so much.
I did. I listened to Striper. Did you listen to Striper?
My
He's too
mom got
young.
me into Striper.
Yeah, I listened to him.
They just played here.
Striper. When Striper first came out, I will say now that could have been 83 or something. I don't know. that was about as heavy as it got. And I remember calling this guy right here and like, check this out.
We saw him at Tulane on that tour.
Right. Well, no, before that tour, they were about as heavy as heavy. Now, obviously, they kind of took it to a Boston, more mellow, or not mellow, but more
They had the ballad.
commercial. But they were really heavy. They had riffs.
But they were never a huge influence. They were just
An influence?
one of those bands that were around.
I
that
mean,
you were
as a
like,
kid-
yeah, they're a pretty good band.
To me, as a kid, I definitely listened to a lot of Stryper.
Did you? I didn't
I did
listen
not.
to a whole
Yeah,
lot.
I did. Now,
More Priest and Maiden and Van
True.
Halen, all that kind of stuff.
but I was more metal.
True.
You were more.
You were more metal.
You had a wider
That's true.
footprint of musical listening, and
That's
mine
true.
was like metal and classical.
And the Bee Gees.
And the Bee Gees. You looked that up?
We all love the Bee Gees.
Did you look that up? That's
Nah,
like my
you just look
karaoke
like-
thing.
You just look like a Bee Gees guy.
That's my karaoke thing. I'm
He's
big on the
Tom
Bee
Jones
Gees.
as a motherfucker in time.
Well, my parents weren't. Sorry, Mom. My parents were not huge musical fans, so we had about 7 LPs in the house, and those records became like the formative records for my musical background, and I can probably name all of them. They would
Do it.
The
If there were
two
7, you should be able to.
Well, yeah, I can. The 2 early Beatles albums with all the hits,
What were
before they got weird. I don't know, because it was like Meet the
yeah, the
Beatles
not
or
fun
something.
ones,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the Hair soundtrack, which if you know me, you know that's like my thing.
Wow.
Bee Gees, whatever that Saturday Night Fever record.
Yep.
Neil Diamond.
Yeah, jazz singer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Good pull out.
that was huge.
That's one of my
The
favorite
Kingston
ones.
Trio, which no one in this room may remember,
I
but that was an
remember the Kingston
acoustic
Trio.
trio from the 50s, and they were very good, beautiful
were.
harmonies.
They were.
And then I'm trying to think if there's anything. Later on, I got into some other stuff. Like I had a cousin or I thought he was my cousin, but a great friend of the family who would give me these records, and it was Michael Jackson. And are you falling asleep over there? God. You ask me a question, I answer it.
I'm listening.
You see,
I'm just really
He's
tired.
power napping.
Just really tired.
yeah. Jesus. Anyway, there was a Vaughn Meter, The First Family, which was a comedy album about the Kennedy family. And that was about
Wow.
as
That's
instrumental. That was about as instrumental as anything else I've ever listened to, for some reason. Okay, so that's the answer to that question.
Excellent.
All right.
answer.
Well, you'd mentioned the word comedy. I heard the word fun. One thing that within y'all's live show, y'all do give off a little bit of comedy in the in between song banter, and you can, when you watch, you can see that y'all are genuinely having a good time playing.
That's what it's all about. I mean, if you get up there and you're stressing about any of it, then you're not doing it right, or you're doing the wrong thing. One or the other. I mean, if you're not, that's what. If every jam we didn't giggle and laugh and have fun at something, then it wouldn't be fun to come back and jam the next week. If every gig we didn't make fun of anything that went wrong, or just enjoy all the shit that went right, then it wouldn't be fun to come back and do it the next week. It's why we do it. We're friends who like having fun together, playing music.
Now, I have a question for someone who's never been to one of your shows. What would be each of y'all's top 3 songs to kind of recommend or get in, to kind of hook them into the rest of your guys' music?
Good question. It's got to be
Wild
a mix.
card.
It's
Wild
got to
card
be a mix
question.
of new and old.
What, our songs?
Yeah,
Top 3.
because I'd say top 3 have to include some of the classics, but some of the new stuff is
The classics
getting
from
there.
2015.
2 years is classics.
I
these
mean, I
days.
think we can all say that if you can listen to the record, did we crap out over there? We good? if you can listen to the record, what do we have? 8 songs?
11.
11? We put them in, I think, pretty much in the order of what we want to listen to them in.
Yep.
And we play them a lot in that order. There's a song called Wing of the Praetor. Man, if you like a good Sabbath jam, that's about as good a description as you can for Wing of the Praetor. The Millipede is the second song on the record.
Second song we wrote, or first song we wrote?
An ingenious riff. I think it's ingenious riff from Chris over here. Man, that thing has a pretty good groove. I don't know.
Asphyxiation is a very popular one.
Oh, yeah.
That's your best. I think that's my favorite Travis vocal performance.
Asphyxiation?
There's a song. Yeah.
That's balls out.
It's-
And that's a
Asphyxiation.
straight up doom song. I mean, that's a song about a dude dying, you know.
Maybe.
But yeah, I got it. You tell us, what is it about?
Well, he's definitely in the process. I don't think you find out. Everybody comes up to me and says that's the one they love to come up and recant the lyrics to, you know. If there's any lyric that people remember from us, it's the lyrics to Asphyxiation.
Why did you take?
Yeah. And it says, well, sing it. Go ahead and sing it, Trav.
Oh, no.
Just sing it. Just sing it.
Why did you take my spacesuit away? I had my face in my hands, I did care.
Yeah, that's it. And people love, I guess people love it. They come up to me all the time and they're like, space metal. Why'd you take my spacesuit away? That's what I like. So
That's the one that clicks with everybody.
yeah, it clicks. It clicks. All 18 of our fans, all of them love that.
And I think the 19th potential fan. That's the
Oh,
one
that
that's
guy,
gonna.
yeah.
That's the one that's gonna hook
Yeah,
him
the one
in.
with the tats.
That guy.
So, what do y'all use to inspire the lyrics of your songs or the topics of your songs?
Well, I'm basically the lyricist, although Trav and I have worked together on some of them, some of the newer songs for sure. But definitely the record, I think I pretty much wrote all the lyrics, right? I mean, I don't want to
amended a few.
I don't want to mischaracterize.
There were some Trav amendments.
Yeah,
on
he
John
amended
Lit-
and
on John lyrics.
incorrectly amended some of the words, but the whole point to the lyrics is that some bands, the description of space metal is that we're a heavy metal band that has sci-fi lyrics, that has lyrics based in the sci-fi world. And the way I would describe it when I would talk to people is, well, if you found a classic rock band 200 years from now that was trying to play music from the 70s or that style, their lyrical content wouldn't be about, things from the 70s. It would be things from 2170. And so it would be about a spaceship or whatever. And so that's how I would write these lyrics. And other bands that have what you would call genre bands or that would have sci-fi lyrics, sometimes they sing about Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever, but we don't do that. We have our own mythology that we create. So there is a pseudo storyline in the lyrics that, and it's always tongue-in-cheek because we're definitely all idiots, but there is a storyline in all of the lyrics, and if you get the CD or if you look online, you can read the lyrics, and it's supposed to paint a picture of some kind of sci-fi futuristic storyline. So,
Would you say your lyrics are paving the way towards a better and brighter future?
not, I wouldn't.
No,
No,
our
not
lyrics
at all.
are definitely foretelling of oblivion.
Oblivion. Yeah, well, there's one of the one of the main a subject matter that we basically sing about is probably, it starts with all my hang-ups from religion. So at least half of the songs have some element of that. You know, growing up, going to Catholic school for God knows how long, God knows how long. And it's not that it's derogatory. It's almost like saying, well, what if all the stories in the Bible actually happened? Would they be, you know, if they would almost certainly have a scientific basis. So if there's a rapture, or if there's the story of Moses in the desert for 40 years, or any of those things, what scientific basis would be behind all these miracles and strange happenings? So that's where a lot of that lyrical content comes from, for better or for worse. I don't know. Trav hates the lyrics.
No, I don't.
He hates the
No,
lyrics.
I don't. I hate the idea of somebody falsely identifying us with some sort of biblical movement.
Oh, that's not what it is.
I know.
It's an influence. That's all. Most of the
I
lyrics
don't want to
are...
be Striper too. That's all.
Oh, no. Let me set you straight, pickle audience. Okay, all
Pickle
of you,
scoop.
Yeah, the masses. Let me set you straight. This is neither pro nor con. This is not against religion.
Con!
For religion. Yeah, this is.
Sorry, you said it.
This is the influence of everything that I have been through in life, which a lot of it is having to deal with the ramifications of being in a religious society. So it's but a lot of it has to do with whether two words rhyme with each other. That's probably the biggest. That's probably the most influential
That
thing,
is
because
true.
if a word doesn't rhyme with the other word,
Very good point.
it usually doesn't make it.
Very good
You know,
point.
and we have some pretty sophisticated rhyming schemes that Travis complains about. So he
They are a
doesn't
pain
like
in the ass.
anything. You know,
Too much alliteration. That's all
right. If he could have 4 words per verse, he would per verse.
Well, one
He
thing
would
we've-
like that.
One thing we've asked like quite a few bands on here is, do you guys, when playing a live show, do you focus on quality of the music or putting on a performance or a show, or are you guys able to do both things simultaneously?
We recorded the album live, so the idea has always been we want to play what you hear on the CD. Makes
That's
it
cool,
easier
yeah.
having done that. So when you go to see one of our shows or hear one of our shows, that's the main thing. We're not trying to give you the exact version that you heard on the CD, but we want you to hear we're not missing a beat with maybe your extra live trick, lick, or flurry here or there, you know.
Chick lick. Yeah,
Your
definitely.
live edition, your live change up. But yeah, we definitely want to we're not reproducing, you don't go and hear the CD exactly, but you hear the CD live.
We
if
can't
that makes any
compete.
sense.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
We cannot compete with these 20-year-old cats who play and they're jumping off of the amp, and
You can't
they're
do that?
definitely
You could
not
totally do that.
because, well, you're a young cat. You could do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
When you hit our age, you're not going to be able to do
No, I'll
it. It's
get a
just
little-
a physical
I'll
impossibility.
get a little hover around or
Yeah.
the stair thing that helps you go up and down the stairs.
I need like an assistant who like just kind of just gives me that little extra nudge to get up the stairs. You know, it just helps me
Where is that? Is that nudge?
under the arm right here.
Under the
I wanted clarification, Mickey. You were saying just that
Oh,
little
a cup.
extra nudge
A cup of
to help me
the,
get up. I just wanted clarification.
So yeah, I mean, I years ago, and when I say years ago, it's almost like that, you know, when he
Back
was saying
in
the
my day.
classics. Yeah, I mean, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I would see a lot of bands, and the energy level is so, I mean, through the roof. which is very impressive. I wish I could do that. I don't think I can do that. Nobody our age can do that.
No, I think you can do it. I think what you need to look at
Angus
is
can
and
do it.
listen to is, are those bands
Angus can do
giving you good
Quality.
sound?
Or are they just
well,
moving around
full
and
of
No,
energy.
I mean, they're great. They're all great. They all can.
Hey, you're a lot more forgiving.
There's
you
a
have a lot
band
more
called
forgiving ear than I do.
Super Doug or something like I forgot what it was called. Man, I saw this band, and they kicked ass, and it was high energy. But that doesn't mean. Well, I guess the mature thing that I did was I said, I can't do that, so I'm not going to try. All right, so
Mature,
I hit a
old.
maturity level where I said I can't do it. I'm not going to try. Hopefully, people like music. You know, if they like music, then maybe they'll like us. If they need to see people jumping off the roof,
There are hundreds of great bands out there.
Yeah.
who
You
Yeah.
can't
got
jump off
crazy
the roof.
fans that'll run up on stage before you can jump off the stage.
that's
right?
happened.
That Bra did. Bra probably did. Space Metal, I don't think we've hooked that crazy fan yet. But
No,
Bra
well.
definitely had some roof jumpers.
I think we could get Jorge to do it. I think we could get. I definitely. I mean, he is ready to go at all times. Jorge, I think he's like a Manchurian candidate type. You just you got to hit him with that trigger word, and bam, he's there. You know, you do whatever you need him to do. He's the man.
That word may be geezer.
It might be.
It might be.
It might be. Who's that? Wooten.
Wooten.
Oh yeah,
Victor?
Just got to hit him with Wooten.
Oh, there you go.
Wooten, George. Wooten. All right.
So, where can people listen to the CD?
We got a Bandcamp page. I think you can buy downloads
Listen
off
to or
Bandcamp.
buy.
You can stream it.
Yeah.
We also have a Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, go look up Space Metal NOLA.
You can make yourself a Pandora channel. We're on Pandora.
What?
You can go to Spotify. You can go to
Apple
Tidal.
iTunes.
You go to Apple iTunes.
YouTube. We got a YouTube channel.
channel. You got
Website.
every streamable service
I
has
think-
us.
Instagram.
We can thank
Twitter.
Rob for all of that.
Yeah.
The bass guy.
You got Pinterest?
No Pinterest.
No Pinterest.
No Pinterest.
Darn.
We
I
draw a
might work
firm
on
line
that.
at no
I might,
Pinterest.
No. I might blur that line.
I think we might have a Pinterest.
Craigslist,
I might
you got
blur that
Craigslist
line.
I think
ads?
We're not
there's-
selling anything
There's
yet.
some space metal crafts that y'all might not be aware of. Yeah, like jewelry and whatnot.
Tell them about the comic book. I think we have a comic book coming.
We did. Well, y'all are comic book people, aren't? Are you?
Yeah.
Is the Pickle Scoop audience a comic book audience?
Yeah.
Some
We
of
got
it.
a
All right.
Yeah, we
few
do have
A
a
couple. All right.
tens of comic books fans.
All right. Well,
Tens. Get
I
all
think
of them.
in the band, I'm the only comic book person.
You
now,
are out of
everybody
your goddamn
appreciates.
mind.
Yeah, were you a comic book kid?
Yes. I've got. We'll save this for after the interview. But
All
yeah.
right, because I will
I
quiz
got a
your
house
ass.
full of comic books.
I'll quiz you. All right, well, good. Travis is into comics too. I was definitely into comics. So I've always wanted to do a comic book, and never did. And I said, well, I'm going to find an artist who's going to draw this comic book. And the only place you can find an artist that you can afford when you're the guitar player for Space Metal is in Costa Rica. So I have a Costa Rican artist who's cranking out pages for the Space Metal comic. And I got to say, they're pretty awesome.
They're pretty awesome.
They are pretty good.
They're
I
pretty
mean,
awesome.
they're
How much is it
legit.
charging you?
17
No
a
comment.
page.
No comment. No
20 a
comment.
page,
They're
30 a
$1 million
page.
a page. They're $1 a page. It's
What? You need to put me in
yeah,
contact.
When are y'all
Yeah.
expecting to
Page.
be able to put out the comic?
What's that?
When are y'all expecting to be able to have it?
Well, once I got
available to
this
the public?
guy to actually create pages, then all of a sudden, all my comic friends come out of the woodwork and
Oh,
they
his
want to
artist friends,
participate.
right.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you're doing that? Why didn't you ask me? Okay, I'm asking you. So
Oh, you got to pay me.
yeah. So now we're waiting for them to crank out pages, and I'm supposed to do a story too. They're like 5-page stories. I'm gonna do maybe a 30 or 40-page comic, and so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully by the end of the year, we've got some good artists. We got Emmett Meyer, and we got Tracy Hamill, who Tracy Hamill was Does anyone remember all those fish sculptures that were all over the city?
Oh yeah.
Tracy did the most fish sculpture art pieces. So he's an acclaimed artist, Tracy Hamill. And then we've got some other cats that are going to be doing some
She's
really
been
awesome.
drawing great shit since forever, Tracy.
Hambone?
Yeah. I mean, you look at
You
when you
can
look
comment-
at his Facebook page as what, anything current
I
going
think you
on.
could
Here's what
comment
he
on a
did
turkey
in
sandwich,
1981
Check out my
as a
turkey
painting
sandwich.
or a mural, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. Like all of his stuff is amazing.
This guy, he's a friend of mine. All of us, really. If on Facebook, if you put a post, and I know some of y'all hate Facebook, whatever. You put a post, turkey sandwich. Tracy Hamill will pull up a drawing of a turkey sandwich that he did in 1982. He'll
With
put it up there.
Rob
He's-
Halford was eating a turkey sandwich
Oh,
in
turkey
1982.
sandwich, right? So he's got everything archived, ready to go. So that's our buddy. He's our guy. When we were in Bra, the '80s heavy metal cover band, he would do the makeup for our drummer Thunderhead.
Thunderhead.
Yeah. So,
Thunderhead.
so, all right.
Well, you mentioned Facebook. People can also follow y'all on the Facebook and the Twitter.
Oh,
on
God,
all the
yeah.
social
Facebook,
media.
Space Metal Nola.
Space Metal Nola on Facebook and Twitter. And are we Instagramming too?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Rob.
we're Instagramming.
He loves Instagram.
Yeah, we're
Twitter?
social as fuck.
Yes,
as,
Twitter.
As fudge.
Yeah, we high fudge.
MySpace?
Social as fudge.
Are you guys back on MySpace yet?
We.
I reinvestigated after.
Yeah. We were
after
looking
what's
into
his
We had
it.
a Brahma.
Timberlake,
so
when
we're looking at
Justin
it.
Timberlake was
Yeah,
investing
Timberlake
in it again.
did it, and I was like, great, because I'm sick of Facebook. Let me do MySpace, and
I went back to it. It's like heavily music oriented.
Oh, yeah.
now.
It's
Yeah,
always
but
it
we
always
don't do
really
that.
was. It always really was. Its origins were kind to what you wanted to do musically.
Facebook's all you need.
But yeah, exactly.
Facebook's all you
It's
need.
like a BBS board
I mean,
versus a modern iPhone.
if you have a
That's the
grandma,
best way
she's
to
on
describe
Facebook, right? Right.
Right.
My mom's on Facebook. My dad's on Facebook.
My dad is.
My great grandma was on Facebook.
Great grandma's on Facebook. Your parents on Facebook. Huh?
Oh yeah, my mom.
Yeah,
She,
your mom.
She functions for both of them.
Didn't they make recently, with the past month, 2 billion people on Facebook, 3 billion?
Half of
something?
the Earth's population's on
I didn't
Facebook.
start Facebook till the storm, just because it became like, oh, well, we can get on this and see who else is out there.
What
and
storm?
communicate
Yesterday?
them. Yeah, the yesterday's
Yeah,
floods.
the
yeah.
floods yesterday.
I'm not
The
talking
Great
about the old
Flood
storm anymore.
of August
Wait, what?
2017.
I'm not talking about that old storm anymore.
Nah,
05
nobody-
is a long time
Right,
ago, bro.
exactly.
We're still milking Katrina.
Yeah.
So you mentioned old and new music a little while ago. Are y'all working on trying to get in the studio to record the new?
It's a process. I think we're gonna do about 4 songs, huh?
No, we're doing more than 4. John thinks we're going to do about 4 songs,
I
but
can tell you, we're
in
doing
the end result will probably be a full CD.
We're doing
He
4
feels good
songs.
about 4. We'll probably
Well, we're
squeeze
gonna.
8.
My intentions, and I will try to influence these guys politically, is to bypass
Full lengths.
producing CDs
He wants EPs.
because I don't think people listen to them.
Well,
Do you listen to CDs?
I do.
not physical CDs. I do much
Mental?
more download now.
Right.
I listen to CDs. I like buying. I have the physical copies. I
That's
like
me.
touching
That's me.
vinyl.
I like the
I have a vinyl.
liner notes.
You want
I
to have
like
the lyrics,
books.
the liner
Yeah.
notes,
The lyrics.
pictures.
I
Everyone
definitely-
who had worked on the CD and who was involved in making the CD or the album. I do like EPs for people because there's certain bands out there that have been bands for 3 years that can't afford a full length album, but they
Sure.
have the content.
Tons
they
of
can-
great EPs out there.
Well, that's what I'm
Tons of
saying.
great
Yeah.
So then
EPs.
what they start doing is releasing EPs just to get like a quiver or a release
Well,
out
yeah,
there.
That's
well-
his
Yeah, to
plan.
give everybody a little sample of what
Yeah.
y'all
That's
got
his
going.
plan.
I think that with the way things are nowadays, 3 or 4 songs is
Plenty.
about as much as people can tolerate
Well,
with the short attention spans.
you can blow your load with one full length CD, or every few months keep releasing the EP, a few songs at a time,
That's what
and
you're
stay
just-
current
That's kind of
throughout the
debate
year.
right
You're
now.
stroking John right
what
now. I don't know if you
direction you wanna
realize
go in.
how hard you're stroking John right now, but you're stroking him pretty hard. That's his plan.
you gonna edit that.
Ego.
No, we're keeping that in.
My mom's watching.
That was your
My
ego.
mother's
John,
watching right
this
now.
is your ego. I don't know.
Mom, that
he
was my
stroking?
ego.
What's
This
he
is your
stroking?
My
ego.
huge ego.
Ego.
Keep your
It's
ego
huge.
down,
I'll
John.
Photoshop in an ego right there.
All right. When I send the link to my mother, I'm gonna do one of those YouTube things where I like change when it starts.
When you send the link, when you send the link to your mother, remind her we're all adults. We're all
Right.
nasty-minded adults.
Yeah.
So, do y'all have a favorite band that y'all have played with?
Oh. Man, there's a lot of good
Oh, I
bands
do.
that I've played. Who's your favorite?
Rat, baby.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's talking about a local band. You mean local, or you
Either
mean
way.
big and
Either way. I mean,
Rat was the kindest of the biggers.
Yeah.
Anvil was also super cool.
Anvil was awesome.
But Rat was definitely.
Let's talk about some of the killer
kindest.
local bands we have around here. We got a ton of
Yeah,
them.
support local.
We've got
I'm
a ton.
wearing
we,
one.
We play with them all the time.
These dudes,
Riff
although
of
they haven't
Madness.
played as Riff of Madness in a while, are in a bunch of bands all over town.
We will
one
be
of
playing
which-
with Riffer Madness October.
Not Riff of Madness.
Yeah.
And Riff.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, both.
Yeah.
We will be playing with Riff of Madness.
I don't know if we
October
can
13th,
announce that yet.
Friday the 13th. I don't know if we can announce that.
well, Riffer's killer.
They are.
I mean, I think every band we've played with is good.
The
great.
dudes we just played with Motor Riot.
Oh,
Motor
yeah,
Riot's
totally
excellent.
awesome.
yeah.
If
So
you're not
y'all-
aware of Motor Riot, people of Pickle, this is a band that's got, all these luminaries from local rock, but the drummer from Mrs. Crowley, right?
Nope.
Exhorter.
Well,
No,
both.
no. The
Yeah, yeah.
drummer from
Playing
Crowley
keys.
playing Hammond
Oh, that's right,
B3
that's right.
keyboard, like he was in Deep Purple.
Yep.
John Lord. I mean, if you want to harken back to that, which I think everybody should want to, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're
They
good.
were awesome.
They're playing with
And-
us again at Twist the Lime with people
Correct.
on the side.
Yeah.
The
So that's a great
18th.
show.
People on the side, we're playing with them. Let me just give it a quick plug because people on the side's one of those bands where the members don't seem to really want to promote themselves for some reason. At least it seems like that to me.
No footwork.
Maybe.
And the guitar player is the guy that has produced Crowbar albums for the last 10 years. If you listen to this band's record, People on the Side, and I have, because I went and visited the studio and went and checked this out, this is like an amalgamation of Mr. Bungle, Megadeth, super heavy, super light, not really too much of the light, but it's totally technical, but it's totally accessible. It's pretty incredible.
Excited about that.
You're gonna freak out when you see them. I mean, if they do it anything like the record, even if it's a shadow of the record, it's gonna be unbelievable, because the record is a masterpiece. But I don't know. So go check that out. Go check us out.
Yeah.
And then when we're done, you're going to check out Motor Riot. And then when they're done, you're going to check out People on the Side. And for the love of God, if you come see us, stay for the other bands, because that's a plague upon music, is people that just come check in and watch one band and then
Plug in, then
get the
plug
hell
out.
out. Yeah,
The
what's that
worst.
all about?
The worst.
It's like people don't like music anymore. They
Well,
just
some
like-
it's
You
like
paid your cover, hang out.
yeah. What's up with that? And then what about all these people in the bands?
the
That's
people
Why
that
isn't
are
there-
in the bands will leave.
That's a problem.
Why is it that when I go play or when I go watch a band, there's not like a legion of people in the audience watching these bands that are from the other bands?
Yeah.
Are they against the other bands?
They're just not
Have you
worried.
asked this
They don't
question?
get it.
Yeah, I mean, we've had several of our guests in the past who have had complaints about that, to where,
It's not a complaint.
well,
It's
but
complaint.
It's an observation.
yeah, an observation.
Well, I'm
that-
complaining, goddammit.
It's
There,
complaining.
in years past, they recall where there was a lot more camaraderie with the bands, to where you'd see all the different bands.
Basic,
I feel
don't be
I
a
feel a
jerk
divide.
support.
Yeah.
There
You know
was-
what I mean?
There's a divide.
We come from ancient times.
Very old.
In the 80s and 90s, and many of the pickle audience were born in the 80s and 90s, but we were rocking in the 80s and 90s. We would go see these bands, and when you would go and see Lillian Axe or Razor White or any of these bands that were old metal bands from back in the day, the audience, unless they had a gig, would all be there watching those bands, and the venues were packed. And I don't see why it's not like that anymore. It kind of blows my mind. I mean, we go see a lot of bands, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think I see a lot.
I
Yeah.
definitely do.
We'll try.
That's about all I do is go see live.
Travis has
music.
got twins, so I guess he's got an excuse.
I try, but I
Yes,
make it out. I made it out.
Oh,
to
he goes to a lot of
Hurricanes the other
shows.
You've
night.
been to a ton of
He
shows.
got a lot of shows, yeah. But anyway, that's complaint / observation. Who's that band with Giovanni Nova or whatever?
Oh, Giovanni is in Dead Machine Theory.
That band is pretty incredible.
We played with them.
Yeah,
I
oh,
think,
yeah.
Good.
once. That
I
was
love that
really
band.
good. Yep.
That's like that's a good band for me.
Yep. That was the Nutrihead
Yeah, he had a Nutria on the drum head.
on the on the bass.
That
drum head.
I was a fan
That was
before they
awesome,
started, and then they
yeah.
were rocking with spacesuits on and whatnot. I mean, that's a killer band.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
were
You ever
good.
had that guy on the show?
Yeah, I've had Giovanni on. I haven't had him on the Scoop yet, but I've had him on the Pickle Scoop show in
Get
the
him
past.
on. He's incredible. That's a good band.
Yeah.
I think he fixes cars or something.
You're steering the focus.
Oh, let's get back to
metal to
space metal. people of Pickle.
He's plugging-
We're back
he's
to
plugging
space
I
metal.
everyone.
appreciate that.
I
metal.
like how he breaks
Don't
the fourth
overplay.
wall with the audience. It's like it's like he's talking to the person who's watching it.
I learned
That's the
directly.
moonshine.
It's the moonshine
The
and,
apples.
and the rock.
So
Learned it
again,
from the rock. And
August 12th, y'all are playing with Diary of an Ozman. Over at,
First
House of
Fracture
Blues.
is opening. We'll go on second, and Diary of Nosman third. I think doors
Oh.
are at 8. First
When-
band's at 9.
We've got some tickets for y'all too.
We
if
have
y'all wanna
tickets.
come out.
Yes.
There's
Absolutely.
We have
Yeah.
tickets. And we have tickets for all your friends.
when does this podcast and video presentation?
We're
go
live.
No, not live. It'll be, I'm hoping either this evening or tomorrow.
No, well,
Okay, people of Scoopmeisters, we have as many tickets as y'all can acquire from us. So
Yeah, because
however
it's
you
a free
need to-
show,
it's a-
correct?
It is
Yeah.
free if you get it from us. You can
Yeah.
buy tickets through House of Blues, or you can talk to your friends at Space Metal.
right.
Damn.
get a
So
free
let
ticket.
let me quickly plug this show once again. If you even remotely like Ozzy or Black Sabbath,
go.
you're gonna love this
You
because
will love it.
this band is honed from some of the best musicians in Tampa, Florida. They come here once a year and they do this show, and to me it's almost like a privilege for us to get to check it out.
Oh, it's
because
awesome.
they don't do it all over the country. This isn't a big touring band. I don't know why they come here and play, but it's an incredible show. The singer, he sings better than Ozzy at this point because Ozzy's pretty much destroyed his ability to sing, which we love Ozzy and keep touring, but this guy is hitting all the notes, and he's still got all the moves, both legit, awesome, epic Ozzy moves, and then he hits the goofy Ozzy moves too. And they play from Black Sabbath to whatever the latest hit is. So if you even remotely like Ozzy, you can help Space Metal by entertaining yourself at this show by acquiring free tickets from Space Metal to go to the show. And you can get the tickets on any...
All the
you
tickets
can
that we
contact
have.
Pickle Scoop fellas probably.
Hit
and
us
get 'em.
up.
How
Yeah,
many
hit
how
us
many
up.
tickets do you have for our listeners?
This many.
We have
which is a stack.
This many. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we probably started out with this many, and we're down to this many, which is
I mean,
still a good hundreds of hundreds.
That's a good stack.
Yeah, so we have a good smattering of tickets. If
It's
you
not a
do,
smattering. It's a
It's a stir.
it's a
if you hit,
deluge.
if you do hit up either the band or our show, we'll be more than happy to get you some tickets.
Yeah.
You go check them out.
Yeah, and if you go to the Ozzy show, but come see Space Metal at least.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
check us out.
You want to catch our set. The set we have planned is a good little mixture of album classics, as in 2 years ago, and the brand new.
Yeah, we
And
got
the
some
brand new
new.
is pretty fun. I'm pretty excited about the new sounds we got coming out.
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
damn
it's a little.
excited.
I think it's different. It's heavier.
It's
we got a
heavier.
new, kind of heavier. I don't know why we've.
I think the album is all around heavy all around. I think the newer songs just stick to a
It's a darker.
pounding, darker,
Yeah,
driving.
For whatever reason,
sadder.
we've got definitely a darker subject matter going with the new stuff.
Yeah,
Not horrifying. Well,
No.
maybe it is horrifying.
some
That new one is to
Yeah.
me is very troubling. That
Both.
new song.
both,
It's a troubling
one?
subject. New blood.
both troubling, very troubling.
Yeah. You're aware of the genesis of that song, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was there. I was there.
Yeah.
I actually helped write the
No,
lyrics.
no, I
for
mean
that
the
one.
genesis of the inkling
Yes,
of the idea
yes,
of
I was
that
there
song.
to help write
Right,
the
right.
lyrics after we were looking at the
No,
image.
I'm acknowledging your participation.
Yes, what I'm saying is that I was there
Yeah,
looking at that
okay,
image.
all right.
The image.
Yeah.
The image.
It's terrible. But I think almost all of the new songs, the subject matter of the new songs, unlike the first album, are, and it's probably because we're getting a little bit older, is just my confrontation with death. The looming, my own looming death, or our own looming death. Everyone.
So this bodes well
Mortality.
for the next Space Metal
It's gonna
record or EP,
yeah.
whatever it's going to be.
Yeah,
It's going to
each-
be heavy
It's gonna be
and grim.
heavy as F.
Yeah, so far each song has been basically about a different death.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah. That's, I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's
I
the
think that
path
might
we're
be
on.
bad.
Oh, that's perfect.
Working
For
it
what?
out, dude. No, you're working it out.
Working things out?
I mean, we could go 4 songs death and 4 songs rebirth.
Maybe.
If it makes you feel
Rebirth
better.
is tough.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
just stick
tough.
with death.
Maybe. All right. I can do that.
So before we leave, I did have a little game set up that I wanted to play with you guys.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
We're game.
in honor of y'all, it is called Space Metal or Neither. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name off I'm going to say a phrase. And y'all are going to tell me if it is something from space, like a constellation or a planet,
All right.
Meteor.
or if it's a metal.
All right.
Or-
Space, comma, metal, or neither.
Correct.
Right. All right.
Or if it's neither.
Did y'all get that on camera?
Yes.
Because that's physical comedy. This is physical comedy, and he's a master of physical comedy.
Front
He's
man.
really good. He's really good. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, what happened?
So to give y'all a, like
I'll be
when you
Amber.
take a standardized test, they're like, the sky is green, yellow, blue, orange.
Space.
Right. Okay.
So iron.
What's the prize?
There's no prize, just pride, I guess.
Prize.
Well,
Can we win?
I mean,
you get green screened into the
Into
Pickleton.
Pickleton.
Oh, nice. All right.
damn it. That's
Green screen
about as
and a
good as I
pickleton.
could have hoped.
We'll hit you with the shrink ray and put you
I
into
love it.
town.
Oh
I
yeah,
wanna
do
be a
that
representative.
for sure.
Hell yeah. I'll win this motherfucker.
Yeah,
Add
yeah.
you to our collection.
The annals.
So the example question, iron,
It's a metal.
Metal.
metal. That would be correct.
All right.
It is element number 26 on the periodic table.
Thank
It
you.
is.
So the next one, triangulum.
Ooh.
Is it
Angular.
space,
Ooh,
metal?
that sounds made
Or
up. I'm
neither.
gonna say neither.
I gotta go neither. I'm saying neither.
Space.
Space.
Triangulum?
Wow.
Yes, it is a constellation.
Oh,
So I guess it's kind of in between y'all for the points.
I'm gonna feel bad if I fail this test, but you know what?
So he's got one over there.
I created my own mythology.
It's all right. I'm ahead. I'm in the lead.
You
It's
get
all right.
more
I'm
beer.
in the lead. I feel good.
Iridium.
Iridium. That's space.
That's metal.
That's a series of satellites that circle the Earth. So
That's
if you're
metal.
talking about that, that's what that is. I don't know if there's an element called iridium.
Your answer?
I'll say space. You convinced me.
Space.
I would have accepted both, actually. It is a metal, element 72, but mad props on knowing about the Iridium satellite system.
Mad
All right.
props.
That
Do you know that you can go outside and spot them?
Yes, I actually had a class in an astronomy class in college.
Did you ever see a flare?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Scoop people.
Yes.
Learn about the flare from the Iridium satellite.
Iridium
It'll blow your
satellite.
mind.
Yeah, you can go to heavens above and
Yeah.
actually see the times when they usually are.
Heavens above.
Mercury.
That's both.
That is both as well. It is a planet and element number 80.
And it's a god.
Copernicum.
Neither.
Battlestar Galactica.
No, that's Capricorn.
Neither.
That's Capricorn.
I'm gonna go with neither.
I'm going neither.
No, it's a metal.
Damn.
Element 112.
Wow.
My wife's a science teacher.
She's probably like at home watching this. No, oh god damn it.
She was quizzing me today on some whatever.
Some
I don't
metals.
know.
The
What was it? It was
periodic
it was,
table.
It was like numerical Latin terms or something or other, and
Painful.
You know that stuff
Yeah.
that everyone knows. You know, basic
yeah,
knowledge.
I was like, I stopped halfway through the test, and I was like, well,
The
fail
twins
me.
did the same shit. I walked out on them.
The twins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Palladium.
Palladium, that's a metal.
Is it a metal? Are you gonna go with metal?
I'm gonna go with neither.
This is like Family Feud.
Decide for yourself, John.
I like teamwork, but in this band, teamwork is non-existent. These guys. I'm gonna go with a metal.
It is a metal. Element 46.
The number of guesses is kind of troubling. The fact that we're having well, you didn't guess. You
I'm
were
ahead.
very. You were
He's
very
ahead.
confident.
He's winning.
Yeah,
Greater Antilles.
that's
Space.
Tis space.
No, it's neither.
Oh,
It's an island group in the Caribbean.
Wait, I thought we were talking
Dude,
about
it's
science
either.
fiction.
I followed them. I thought they're
It's
sure.
science fiction. It's
It's an individual effort.
Too many Ambers.
The
in it.
Antilles
Abita,
quadrant?
damn you, Abita!
in Star Trek. That's a quadrant.
Well, that is a quadrant.
Thank you.
Microscopium.
Neither.
I'm going neither. That's like unobtainium.
Unobtainium. Let's say neither.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it
Final
is. Even if
answer.
it's wrong, it's the final because it should be neither.
No, it's a constellation,
Well, it
actually.
should be neither.
stupid.
That's like
That
when
ain't
the,
no
the
Orion.
kid names the
That ain't no
the
Orion.
comet after himself, and then a comet destroys Earth, whatever.
Or as you people say, Orion.
Yeah,
Boy, that always bugs me.
yeah Orion.
Metairie people.
I'm a Metairie person by
Weird.
nature, but
Yeah.
still. I grew up. The first place I lived was on Orion.
For some reason, I
as a
have
child,
a
my
street
first
sign
house
on
was on
Orion
Orion. So when
Street.
people call it Orion,
reason, it's in
it
my
drives
house.
me nuts.
It's crazy.
Drives me nuts.
I don't know. I mean, is
Orion.
that even legal to have a street sign?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Huh?
We're sidetracked here.
we
All
are.
right. Sorry.
Um,
Is that disconcerting when I look
No, no.
up and then
No,
you're
no,
not
no.
really there? There's no
Just
one up
shut
here,
up.
right? Is that
no, I'm here.
Shut
okay?
up.
All right.
We're here.
Um, Galactus.
That is neither.
That is indeed neither.
Yeah.
It's the bad guy from Marvel
Oh,
Comics.
It is.
Let's see. Last one. Scutum.
Is that a substance that you sometimes find?
SCUTUM.
Scut. The
Scutum.
D. Yeah, I thought it was a D,
Scutum.
and that put it in a totally
Scud.
Scutum.
pornographic spot in my mind. But the T makes it different.
Scutum.
Scutum is space metal or neither? Metal.
Neither.
And the answer
Metal.
is... It is a constellation. Looks like a shield.
Oh, all right.
So I think today's winner is going to be over here.
the dog.
Travis. Travis wins.
What's the dog's name?
Pickle Snoop.
Pickle Snoop.
Pickle
answered-
Pickle Snoop.
Answered more successfully.
You were. You're a
by
smart
not
dog.
answering, really. I think we got a better grade. Pooch.
But again, I want to thank y'all for coming on.
Thanks
Wanna
for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having us.
I want to remind everybody, please check out Space Metal. They will be playing August 12th at House of Blues. They'll be playing with Diary of an Ozman. On the 18th, they will be playing with People on the Side and Motor Riot.
Definitely plug that show multiple times throughout your
People on the
podcast.
side,
absolutely.
Motor Riot at Twisted Lime on the 18th because House of Blues takes up too much of people's attention. House of
Yeah.
Blues is a big shiny thing. Everybody forgets about the Twist. Go to Twist.
Twisted
Support it
Lime.
locally.
Support local.
Twist of lime.
You can also, again, check out Space Metal on their website, spacemetalnola.com. On Facebook.com, it's Space Metal Nola, at Space Metal Nola on Twitter, Instagram, spacemetal1.bandcamp.com, where you can buy the CD. It's available on iTunes and Google Store and all that as well.
Free tickets.
Yeah, free tickets. Hit us up or the
this
band.
Show coming up this Saturday.
So, again, thanks, guys, for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank y'all.
So, stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the Scoop.
Pickle scoop. Pickle scoop.
So, there you have it, folks. Our interview.
What a great interview.
Yes, our interview with the great Space Metal. I see that you're wearing some of their merch already here.
I do have the shirt.
You can check them out on August the 12th. They'll be playing at House of Blues with Diary of an Ozman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Black Sabbath and Ozzy tribute act. You can also check them out on the 18th, where they'll be playing at Twist of Lime
In Metairie.
in Metairie. And they'll be playing with People on the Side and Motor Riot.
And we got tickets
related
to
the House of Blues show. They gave us a booty of free tickets.
for all of our faithful and loyal listeners.
If you'd like to go check them out, you can hit us up or any of the members of their band,
Mm-hmm.
and we have free tickets for you.
Boom.
If you wait until you're at the door, I think there's a couple dollar cost to it. You can check out their CD, Space Metal. They do have a physical CD, as you can see with Mr. Devin here.
We have hit songs like The Millipede, Exodus, Strong Tongue, Witness to the Witch, Frozen Eye, Warrior from the Future, and Terracat.
You can also download their CD at their Bandcamp. It's spacemetal1.bandcamp.com. You can check out their website, which has links to all of their social media,
And
spacemetalnola.com.
make sure to get some of that merch while you're at the show. Or you can go online, check out some of the merch there.
With us, you can check us out, picklescoop.com, Facebook, facebook.com/The Scoop Show, at P-Scoop Podcast on Twitter. Devin, where can people check you out?
Well, folks, you can check me out at facebook.com/F13M1NG0, or you can check me out on Instagram. That's going to be Devin Flamingo, all one word, DEVING. Oh, wait, whoa. DEVINFLEMGIO. And then I have a website where you can check out some photos and videos, and that's going to be www.devinflemingo.com. And you can also check me out on YouTube.
And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Share,
yes. If you prefer to listen to the audio version, you can listen to us on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Or, as always, just go to picklescoop.com. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Space Metal. Till the next show, Scoop out.